Hello and welcome to Today in the News on Vanguard Live. I am Precious Chikudi. We begin with the front pages of the papers this morning. Starting up with Vanguard. Vanguard is leading with Nigeria must battle rising food insecurity as priority, and that's coming from the IMF. Rider says capping fuel prices, low electricity tariffs could cost Nigeria. Calls for cash transfer program implementation. We must go into production to escape hardship, and that's coming from the governors. How Nigeria can stabilize forex, overcome economic woes, and that's come from Mohalu. I'm not desperate to be president, and that's come from Peter Obi. Nigeria's acceptance of grains from war-torn Ukraine, no sign of failure, and that's coming from federal government. We can see a photo story showing the Commission's MSME Fashion Hub. 4 billion naira COVID-19 grant, operators not indebted to federal government orders. United Airlines CEO replies reps. Meta reacts book Instagram crash. Deadline on main account linkage. Most banks yet to implement directives. Rider says accounts without BVN registered seem affected. CBN should consider Nigerians in diaspora, and that's coming from Consumer Group. Not planning to truncate Nigeria's democracy. African Games. Edom wins team Nigeria's first medal in Accra. Stories above. Dangote plans a trading arm of refinery. You can read that on page 19. Papa Gridlock returns. Truck ignores Sanwo-Olu's directives. You can read that on page 7. Edo Guba. PDP moves to reconcile group members. Holds SWC meeting. Lagos LGAS. Huge allocation lead to development. Nigerians shouldn't be hungry. Insecure. Sharia Council tells federal government. You can read that on page 8. And still on page 8. Why good leadership eludes Africa? That's coming from Obasanjo. The Guardian newspaper. The Guardian is leading with consumers switch to use gadgets as FX crisis worsening tech adoption. And we can see an infograph showing the cost of laptops, smartphones, featured phones, smartwatches, smart TVs, and refrigerators. And on page 4, news analysis. WADA, fresh doping hurdles for Team Nigeria ahead of Olympics. Reps uncover fraud in seaport concession. 7 ministers. No country provides equal opportunities for women, and that's what World Bank is saying. More food-laden trucks seized at borders as IMF seeks end to hardship. Alleged dollar bribe court stops Ganduje's probe. Federal government maintains UAE visa ban on Nigerians subsist. Insider collaboration responsible for over 70% of bank fraud, says EFCC. Sharia Council urged federal government to end hunger insecurity. Take a look at the Punch newspaper. The Punch is leading with food smuggling. Federal government intercepts 141 grain trucks. Drivers threaten strike over attacks. Rider says customs sees 120 smuggled grain trucks. EFCC intercept 21. Some other sales of forfeited food. Truck owners threaten to stop transporting food over attack, says no insurance for looted foodstuff. And on page 29, 767 manufacturers shut down in 2023, and that's coming from Man. Trial, suspected killer of Ekiti monarchs remanded. Reps grill ministers over port concessions Tuesday. Stories of Obasanjo unveils new book on leadership at 87th birthday. Nigeria's electricity subsidies may gob 7 trillion naira, and that's coming from IMF. Lastly, on the front page of the Punch newspaper, Army Chief dismisses coup calls, demands a good leadership, and that's all we can take on the front pages of the papers. Join us after the break. We'll be right back. Alright, welcome back. For just joining us today in the news on Vanguard Live. Begin with one of our first story, and it's on Nigeria must battle food insecurity as priority, and that's coming from the IMF and the International Monetary Fund. IMF yesterday asked the federal government to pay immediate attention to food insecurity in the country. The IMF's position came on a day governor said Nigeria must go into production if it must get the people out of the current hardship. At the 16th edition of the Leadership Annual Conference and Awards, the IMF made its position known in its end of mission statement issued after the completion of the IMF Staff 2024 Article 4 mission to Nigeria. This is even as former Anambra State Governor and 2023 presidential candidate of Labour Party LP, Mr. Peter Obi, who decried the hardship in the country, said he was not desperate to be president but desperate to make Nigeria work. Also, former Deputy Governor of Financial Stability of the Central Bank of Nigeria (CBN) Professor Kingsley Moghalu advocated sales of government assets to raise funds totaling $18 to $20 billion, which could be channeled into bolstering reserves to stabilize forex and overcome economic woes. However, President Bola Tinubu urged Nigerians to be patient, assuring that his economic reforms will stabilize the country. President Tinubu, Obi, and Moghalu also spoke at the Leadership Annual Event, which served as a stage for political figures, statesmen, and other dignitaries to highlight of increasing productivity as a means of elevating Nigeria from her current state of hardship and steering her towards economic stability and strength. Echoing the governors, the IMF said addressing food insecurity should be an immediate priority of the federal government, stating that the new government inherited a difficult economic situation marked by low growth, low revenue collection, accelerating inflation, and external imbalances built up over the years. IMF said addressing food insecurity is the immediate priority. The recent approval of a well-targeted and effective social protection system is an important step towards addressing food insecurity in Nigeria, and its implementation will be crucial. It said a decision by the Monetary Policy Committee (MPC) to further tighten monetary policy would help contain inflation and pressures on the naira. The statement said an IMF team led by Axel Chimenfeni, IMF mission chief for Nigeria, visited Lagos and Abuja from February 12 to 23, 2024 to hold discussions for the 2024 Article 4 consultations with Nigeria. It said the team met with the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Edu, and Governor of the CBN, Olayemi Cardoso, and some other senior government and CBN officials, minister and representative of sub-nationals, private sector, and civil society organizations (CSOs). The statement said that at the end of the visit, Chimenfeni issued the following statement: Nigeria's economic outlook is challenging. Economic growth strengthened in the fourth quarter with gross domestic product (GDP) growth reaching 2.8% in 2023. This falls slightly short of population growth dynamics. Improved oil production and an expected better harvest in the second half of the year are positive for 2024 GDP growth, which is projected to reach 3.2%, although high inflation, naira weakness, and policy tightening will provide